Norwich is full of heritage buildings. We are told that Elm Hill has more Tudor buildings than the City of London. But none of them are as interesting as Dragon Hall. Here it is, sandwiched between King Street and the River Wensum. It was built in the 15th century by a wealthy merchant named Robert Topps. But it was not his dwelling house. This was his trading hall. He was a canny entrepreneur. He built his hall to further his business. He built it to impress, to inspire confidence in his clients. And so he built it well. Wood archaeologist Richard Darrah says that the quality of the wood used is exceptionally high. But it's also important because it's rare for a 15th century building to survive in its original state. For most of its history, after Topps's death in 1467, it became squalid tenements. Because it is a building built by one individual and not by a guild or a corporation, when it was restored in the 1980s, it was accepted that it could be returned to its original state. Mr. Topps chooses his site next to the river. Norwich is after all a port, with access via Yarmouth not only to the Low Countries but to the Mediterranean and even the Baltic. He also chose to build his hall on top of ground floor walls along the street. The hall is therefore elevated above the street and could also be easily seen by boats sailing up the river. He adds 3 impressive, very expensive oriel or bay windows, now sadly gone. He didn't demolish a previous building on the site. He made use of an earlier 14th century L-shaped hall house. This house had an impressive doorway of stone, an expensive commodity in Norfolk, found in the cathedral and the wealthy church of St. Peter Mancroft. He kept this. He appreciated its value, but he wanted something grander for his customers, so he added his own contribution, also made of stone, round it. So, welcome to Mr. Topps' trading hall. Do come this way. As a customer, you will be led into the screens passage of the original 14th century domestic house. On your right, you would see part of Mr. Topps' additions to the original house, a large, moulded arch, complete with spandrels, the triangle between the wall and the arch brace, which would have contained carvings. And here the wall is of high quality timber. The studs are large and well finished, with all the tool marks carefully removed. On the other side, in Topps' private office, unseen by his clients, the timbers are not so well faced. You would not be ushered this way, which leads to the yard, the work area. Here, Mr. Topps is not going to waste his money. The woodwork here is left rough and unadorned. Here it is also obvious that he used this impressive existing brick arch and built the trading hall above it. It would previously have been the entrance from the street to the yard area and for access to the Staithe on the river. From the screens passage, you would go up some steps through the new arch cut by Topps. From here, you would climb the new grand staircase up to the trading hall. Customers would not be interested in the beams here, the underside of the hall, but they are nevertheless interesting. They are numbered. We know they would have been cut in the woodland, shaped and assembled in the woodyard, numbered, then taken down, transported to the site and reassembled. A flat pack. Notice also how the spine beam is offset to make room for the large stairway. The stairs, this is a modern replacement, would have been impressive. A large window lights the way. As we climb, we cannot avoid focusing on the timbered roof, almost cathedral-like in its splendour. So that we can fully appreciate its craftsmanship, 2 windows in the north gable shed light onto it. The hall is long, very long, 26.82 metres and 6.7 metres wide. It would have used up maybe 1,000 large oak timbers. Mr. Tops's design was a grand one. Like the oriel windows, the roof is impressive. The hall is divided into 7 bays. Each bay is spanned by an elegant tie beam, in the centre of which is a crown post. This rises to connect with the central purlin running the length of the hall. The collar for the rafters rests on this. Richard Darrah has made a model to show the use of timber and the method of construction.
This is a 1/6 scale model of one of the bays of Dragon Hall. It's actually the bay just after the Dragon. I want you to help me lift the lid off.
Yes.
We're going to put it on that table over there. Thank you. And then we're going to move out the box. And the second box, which we'll put on over there. Line up. Yep. These 2 bits out. I'll give you this one and then you can take the second one out. Then this is going to go back on top. And this means that the white box represents the ground floor of Dragon Hall.
Yeah.
Together with everyone else, I made the same mistake of using modern ground levels rather than the medieval ones.
Right.
Now we're going to start off by putting up this bay here.
Yes.
And the pieces are over here. And that's the East Bay.
So shall I pass them? You come over here and I'll pass them to you, shall I?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, starting with A.
Yeah. Right. Mind my cable. And these studs are all marked so we know where to put them.
Yep.
Yeah. D. E. And you're putting the letters facing outside?
Yes, I do. Now, all these fit individually into the holes. They're not all exactly the same size. And that's what would have happened in the medieval building as well, that they'd make them so they fit. Because although the studs looked to be the same size, they varied between 8 and 9 inches wide. Right?
Right. You want a cap now, do you? Want a wall plate?
I think we'll wait with, yes, we can put the wall plate on. That's the west, east wall plate. That one's a bit awkward.
Lift it up slightly, shall I?
That's okay.
Now press down.
If you let me do that. Then.
Yeah.
Good, that's that side done. And if you go over there, then we can do the other side as well. Well, I'll start with I this time because we'll be moving away from ourselves, right?
Yeah.
On the King Street side, the floor joists stick out beyond the wall. This is called a jetty. And the bressumer that fits on this side is only tenoned into the 2 wall posts.
Complicated joint there, isn't it?
Yeah. And
West there.
yep, I'll get this place, and we'll do the others in between. We can now go to B. If that's good.
C.
This is a tie beam. It runs from one side of the building to the other and holds the whole building together at wall plate height. When they've built this, it has horizontal tenons
Yes.
at each end, these little bits here,
Yeah.
and this top bit overhangs. And in order to fit them, we've actually got to move the walls.
And they would have done this in the original building?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to move the walls of the building out
Yeah.
in order to do this. And this means that this joint didn't get used for very long, because when it was in position, it was held by 5 pegs
Yeah.
on here
Yeah.
at each end, and that was the only thing from stopping the building spreading.
Yeah.
And there's immense force from the pairs of rafters pushing out in that direction,
Yeah.
trying to open that joint up. North. I think that's the right way around. Northeast it is. Yep.
So push the wall out. It's difficult to imagine a structure so big to move out so much.
Yeah, it's of course things get more flexible as they get bigger.
Yeah. Oh,
So
of
the
course,
smaller
yes.
you are, the more rigid a structure.
Right,
is.
okay.
That's
Yeah,
why
there's
model planes don't break up because of that. So that's the main structure up, and this is still quite flexible. It moves
Yes.
about like that. But when we put the braces in, which you've got over there,
And these are labelled, are they?
Yep.
Yes.
this is the northwest and the southwest. So those go at that end, and this is the northeast and the southeast.
Well, this
That's right. I've not got that quite right.
This is west on this side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the southwest.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well,
And
we
that
need.
slots in.
Yeah.
That slots in like that, doesn't it?
You put these into the stud first,
Yep.
and then
Right.
yeah. And normally we would put dowels through there to hold it into place, but we don't need to.
No, we don't need to.
You made it so tight. Yeah. Okay.
So they're done like that.
Okay.
Yep,
There we are.
that's it.
So now we have stability in this direction
So
here
that,
now.
now that's,
Yeah.
that's stable.
Yeah.
And
And how
there's
about
still
in that?
racking-
How about in
still-
that plane there?
Still racking in that plane,
Yeah.
and this is what the crown post.
Ah. Okay. The famous
sorts
crown
out, yeah.
post. Yeah.
went in. I think they've used a Spanish window.
And this is the brace where the dragon of the hall is being fitted into that space, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's the first space there. And this one is the south.
And this is the crown post now we're putting in
Yep.
on the on top of the tie beam. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crown post goes on top of the tie beam. Click those in, and we'll put some pegs in those to stop them
Okay.
falling out.
Right.
We may have to take them out again. This is the central purlin. It joins each of the crown posts together.
Down.
Yep,
And this is so I don't bang my head on it.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay, you see. I
Yeah.
can avoid those. Don't bother with that.
Okay.
Thank you. Right. Now this is where we start on the roof, and again, the roof consists of 5 components. Two rafters. Oops. And they fit together at the top like that.
Yeah, and you're going to dowel that now, eh?
Yep, I think we could down it.
And they would have done this on the ground, would they? When
I think the rafter sets.
Yes.
One collar.
Yeah.
That goes across like that.
Which will then fit onto the crown post. Yes.
Yep. It fits on. In this case, it does because this is the principal rafter, and 2 shoelaces. Now it's possible that we have to take those pegs out again. So
sorry, the shoelace is a word for a brace, is it?
Yeah. You've got the collar running across like that, and here there are also secondary braces as well that run across like that, and they're called shoelaces.
Making sure that shoelace underneath.
Yes. So presumably the French is going to be lace, isn't it, or something like that for this particular joint.